3 Weather Lab. Here's Daniel's True View forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the forecast stays wet across Acadiana. It looks like more rainfall on the way for the weekend. Got away with minimal showers this afternoon. A couple of us had a few heavy downpours. That, for the most part, has kind of come to an end. We may see another one or two popping up through the evening. I think for the most part, we are done until tomorrow. Let's start with a look at the satellite and radar picture. A lot of wet weather all across the southeast. Widely scattered showers all across Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. They actually had some pretty serious flooding out over towards Atlanta and then stretching all the way through out over towards Texas as well. We actually avoided a lot of the heavier activity today. We had a couple of showers start popping up across the area. That was about an hour or two ago. They since have kind of fizzled. We don't really have a whole lot happening in Acadiana right now. Get a bit of a chance to dry out. We do have more showers on the way. We're watching some of that wet weather out over towards the east, crossing the basin. Looks like that's continuing to fizzle. So again, maybe one or two kind of pop up in West Acadiana as we go through the evening. But I think for the most part, we're kind of done today. We will see more wet weather on the way for tomorrow. In fact, you can see those showers on the water vapor imagery. They show up really nice. You got a front just off over towards the north. This is sagging southwards. You have a big area of high pressure out over towards the west that's forcing that down. And you notice that as the winds kind of wrap around, it's catching these little lows that have been pushing their way from the east across Acadiana. That's what drove a lot of the weather we had over the last couple of days, was these little disturbances that rode along underneath that ridge, brought all of the rainfall with it. Now tomorrow, I think we'll see the showers mostly coming in from the north. We'll see that front kind of sag through and then stall out actually into Sunday. So the wet weather not going anywhere. We've got a couple different features out in the Atlantic as well. Tropical Depression 3, which is out over towards the Carolinas. Probably not going to spend much time talking about that. That does stay out in the Atlantic and then drifts northwards. If you are headed to the Carolinas, you'll probably get some nasty weather there over the next couple of days. What we'll spend a little more time talking about, though, is what is now Hurricane Beryl, a tiny storm out in the Atlantic. You can see some moisture coming in from the south, and this has paved the way and gotten a lot of the dry air out over towards the north, and it's going to allow this system to go a little bit further than we were thinking yesterday. Now, I will say, with the forecast around Beryl, uncertainty is going to be very, very high. This is a tiny, tiny storm. It's only about 70 miles from end to end. You can drive that in an hour in a car on the interstate. Giving an idea of how big other storms are, Hurricane Andrew is about 180 miles, so that was over double the size of this. And a feature this small is going to be very hard to pinpoint. The models will really struggle with it. It's going to be very hard to get a really good idea of what it's doing. So that's why you're going to see the forecast change from time to time. Now, the forecast track hasn't changed much, but the intensity, which is already pretty difficult to figure out, that is going to waver. And right now it looks like it's going to approach the Lesser Antilles as a hurricane. Will skirt southwards of Puerto Rico as a tropical storm, continue as a tropical storm on towards Cuba before it fizzles out. Winds right now are at about 80 miles. Gusts are about 100 miles an hour. This is going to move pretty quickly westwards as well. Puts it over in Cuba by about Tuesday, hoping that it opens up into a wave and kind of puts some moisture into the Gulf of Mexico. For us, that more or less means better rain chances through the middle of next week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, always watching the tropics this time of year, but that's the latest on Beryl. And you'll probably hear a good bit about Beryl over the next several days. Quiet overnight tonight, though, back closer to home. We have a tropical atmosphere. We won't be seeing the tropical weather. We will get some rainfall starting to pop up tomorrow lunchtime. That's when you'll see the earlier showers get going. Some of the thunderstorms in the mix as well. They will expand down across the area through the evening. We'll see the effects of that sagging front sparking a lot of those showers. We are going to see that continue on through into Sunday as well. It is a very wet weekend coming up. Widespread showers across the area both for Saturday and Sunday. Looking a little bit better maybe early next week, but we'll still have a lot of moisture in place. You can see all the showers taking place on Sunday and then even all that wet weather sticking around into Monday as well. Monday it may be a little more broken up. I think that the model indicates a lot heavier rainfall, but again, I think it's a little more scattered. As far as your rain totals go, probably an inch or two over the next couple of days. You'll get hot spots that are a little bit higher than that. Lows tonight down to around 73 degrees, nearly calm conditions. Maybe an evening shower or two left, but for the most part, I think we're done. Highs tomorrow up to around 88 degrees. Showers by lunchtime, expanding through the evening. And then we will see unsettled weather through next week. Could see some of those rain chances inch upwards depending on if we get all that moisture from Beryl into the Gulf of Mexico. That's what we'll be watching with that system.
All right, we'll be watching. Thanks, Daniel. Still ahead.